It carries silts and nutrients to the land and to the mother of life, the eternal sea. But what has happened to the San Gabriel River? It's time to look at this journey to the sea a little closely. Let's return to the water's source. Or starting point, if you will. Here, back on the mountain, we believe that there is just plenty of water to waste, and that we can fix the bad things we do to our water with science and technology. Whew. Here, in Southern California, we take water from other counties and states to quench our vast needs. But because Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico and Mexico have had large population growth, they want their share of Colorado River water. Without Colorado's water, Los Angeles and San Diego would be windswept deserts. We also get water from the Sacramento San Joaquin River Delta.
San Joaquin River.
Sacramento San Joaquin River Delta. That area's population is growing by leaps and bounds, but in future they too may be demanding that we stop using their water. So what do we have left? Thank you.
God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
Now, even though Public Works or the Flood Control District, we own all the dams, we own all the groundwater recharge facilities downstream, we don't own a drop of water behind the dam. All the water rights along the river have been claimed by other entities. There's two organizations that own pretty much all the water rights. The first 135 cubic feet per second of water that flows in the river belongs to an organization called the San Gabriel River Water Committee, which I think Don Barry here is the representative of the committee, or Committee of 9 for short.
Well, Cogswell and San Gabriel, and Morris was built by City of Pasadena. So with the 3 dams here on the river, there was a group formed called the San Gabriel Valley Protective Association, and they're made up of companies from Azusa down to Long Beach that have a right to basically the storm water, the water that's over the Committee of Nine's water right. And this water is used to recharge the underground basins. They release water down to Morris, and then it's released out of Morris into these underground spreading grounds, recharging the aquifers.
Water fell to the ground as liquid and sinks into the soil and pools up in the deep, hidden recesses of the earth. These recesses are called an aquifer.
Aquifer. Aquifer.
Yes, aquifer.
Good.
Is that clear? Thank you. Oh. Ah. Aquifer. Any deep, underground, geological formation that contains water, especially those used as sources for wells and springs. A long time ago, when water did not come in pipes to your home, your daddy would dig. Or Mummy would dig. Down to the aquifer.
Aquifer.
To find water to supply the needs of the home. Isn't that lovely? The water doesn't settle down to an aquifer and will run down and pour into larger and larger waterfalls and creeks and streams and rivers. Finally, the river joins the ocean in a salt marsh or estuary. The sitting and seeping water is filtered clean by plants, microorganisms, and the particles of the soil itself.
I mentioned that the penstocks or the tubes have backup valves that normally those backup valves are closed and the penstock pipes themselves are drained. This water that's coming out of here today is the leakage from those backup valves, because they're also original and they leak at about 5 cubic feet per second per day. So from each of the two 123-inch diameter penstocks, those two, their butterfly valves leak, and that leakage is passed through the penstock and discharged through those two drainage pipes that you see here.
Evaporation loss, just for this dam alone, can be a few hundred acre-feet per month, especially when the dam is more full. At the beginning of summer, it's quite full, and there's a lot of loss. There's a lot of surface area and a lot of evaporation loss. In the wintertime, like now, the pool is much smaller behind the dam, and there's maybe only 100 acre-feet or so of loss.
When they built the river channel, they modified the way the water flows through the area here. We're looking at some of these accessory structures that are back up to the river levee that we'll see in a minute. But all this is regrown after they graded it out, but it's similar to what would have been here in the sense that this plant community is used to being wiped out by a flood and then recolonizing. And if you see a healthy patch of this, you'll see different ages, a group that's been wiped out recently, maybe one that grew back 15 years ago, maybe one that grew back 50 years ago. So you'll see a good mosaic.
Well, here at the sanitation districts, we handle the waste of 5 million people, both the solid waste and also the liquid waste produced, and to the tune of about 500 million gallons a day of wastewater. Most of it is treated at our joint plant in Carson, discharged out in the ocean, but we've built a system of 10 water reclamation plants where we take about 200 million gallons a day of wastewater, treat it to a high level, and actually reuse about 40% of that total.
This water is just straight from the dam. When it goes to the committee in their distribution network, that's where it would get treated before it's used. I mean, if you live in the San Gabriel Valley, I mean, a lot of the residents in the valley are served from water from this dam. So you could be drinking the water that's coming out of this dam.
Hi, my name is Mark Velasquez, and I'm an engineering associate with the Main San Gabriel Basin Watermaster. The Watermaster is a 9-member court-appointed agency who manages the quality and the quantity of the basin's groundwater, which supplies water to approximately 1.2 million people in the San Gabriel Basin.
That's the main benefit of this water right now.
Water recharge?
Groundwater recharge. They have to lower the water level in the dams in the mountains in the early winter, late fall, so that they can hold the incoming winter's rain. So a lot of this water is let out in anticipation of rain, and whenever they need water for groundwater recharge, they do it periodically throughout the year.
And this is a
This is Pectocaria or comb burr. It's not a particularly showy plant, but it's a native wildflower.
It's important for people to know that all water is recycled water. There's no new water. It's the same water we've had for the last 3 billion years that life has been on this planet. Ever since the first bacteria, water has been used by life, by living organisms, discharged, eliminated, removed, cleaned by nature, and then reused by the next organism. On and on it goes. What we do with water recycling, in particular groundwater recharge, is take water that's been used, clean it up to a high level, a level that meets current state and federal drinking water standards. It's that clean. Put it on the ground, allow it to percolate in the soil, mix with other sources of water that might not even be as clean as our water supply, but they're considered natural sources because they're coming from rivers or streams. It goes into the ground, it gets into sand, rock formation, and somewhere downstream somebody will pump it out, clean it again, filter it out, disinfect it, and it's perfectly safe to use.
Let me clarify that. Let's see. Water quality can be affected by a lot of things. Mostly, we're concerned about water quality from a standpoint that's already in the ground and preventing from further contamination. There's a lot of areas, as you know, the main San Gabriel Basin is a Superfund site. There's volatile organic compounds, and in some areas there's nitrates, high nitrate levels. They just didn't get there by accident. They come from past industrial and agricultural practices that led to this contamination.
Now, there's absolutely no chance of any rainfall. There's not going to be any rainfall runoff. Imported water is not available to be purchased and spread. And the 3 dams that are collecting water from runoff in the San Gabriel Mountains are essentially empty. So this water, the reclaimed water, is the only game in town, the only water we have available to fill up our underground water supply in the aquifers. After about 12 hours of treatment, so this water is actually went down somebody's toilet about I'll say 10 o'clock last night.
I think the public realizes that this is, they're just doing it. It's more sophisticated than it has been in the past, but it's, we've been drinking toilet water for millions of years.
Once the people moved here, when we hit the capacity of the local groundwater to meet the needs, we went out and got more water. We, Southern California. Those of you that have seen the movie Chinatown, that's kind of a parable of going out to get water from first the Owens Valley, then the Colorado River, and then finally Northern California. How that was done is an interesting history lesson, but the net result is that the region now imports 2/3 of its supply.